The one and only active superhero. Some might think he's Batman.
And really, truth be told, everybody says Batman, everybody says the Clark Kent, but I'm really just black.
Others call him Deadpool, but one thing is certain, he's the most active fighter we got in the UFC. Today we're going to talk about him. First, let's talk about his childhood. Kevin was born November 5th, 1992 in Riverside, California, and he was raised mostly by his grandparents in Rancho Cucamonga and Ontario. Unfortunately for Kevin, his parents weren't around when he was a kid because his mother has been in and out of jail. Meanwhile, his father has been incarcerated throughout Holland's life. But now that he is a little bit older, his relationship with them has gotten a little bit better and closer. Holland as a teenager attended Los Osos High School and was there that he got into mixed martial arts at the age of 16 after he got in a fight and ended up headbutting a security guard and got kicked out of high school. He went to juvenile for a little while, got out of juvenile hall and went to continuation school. In the continuation school that he went to, there was a kung fu instructor named Mr. Candy, and as we all know, Holland has a big mouth, so he ended up telling the instructor that was all fake fighting. Sure enough, he went to the class and fought and beat up all the students. And then, in Holland's own words, Mr. Kennedy beat the shit out of him, and from then on, he never wanted to look back. And as a matter of fact, 3 years later, at the age of 19, he was having his first amateur MMA fight that resulted in a unanimous decision win. Furthermore, in his amateur career, he would fight 4 more times and not losing a fight in the process. So that led to a 5-0 record with 3 stoppages by TKO. And the curious fact about them finishes is that they all happened in the second round. And after such a successful amateur career, he had to become a pro, and that's what he did. In 2015, at the age of 22, and similarly to his amateur career, he started pretty good as a pro, with 4 wins in a row by stoppages in the space of only 3 months, but he ended up losing his next 2 fights in the same year. First was against Ramil Mustafayev by unanimous decision, and then unfortunately he lost to Rafael Lovato Jr. by submission in the first round. Some of you might know him because he's an absolute beast in the BJJ world and MMA too, because he retired with 11 wins and no losses. At the time, he was the Bellator middleweight champion of the world. Sadly, he had to retire because of medical issues. He was the first fighter to show the world the flaws in Kevin Holland's game. But still, after losing 2 in a row, he came back stronger than ever and won his next 5 fights, all by stoppages. As a result of those wins, he became
and a new XKO middleweight champion.
And one of those 5 wins was against a fighter that I'm sure we all know because he's the man known as Hands of Steel, Geoff Neal. But if you live under a rock and don't know him, he is the 8th ranked fighter in the welterweight division, and as of today, he's the only fighter to knock Vicente Luque out. And boy, it was brutal. But after those 5 wins, Holland ended up fighting Curtis Melander in a banger of a fight in LFA 13. Despite putting in a good fight, Holland lost by unanimous decision in a battle that he was winning. But with only 1 minute left in the fight, he made the mistake of pulling guard, and that really was the game changer in the 3rd round.
3 judges scored the bout. 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, Curtis Cardi!
But after that loss, he came back with 3 wins, all by stoppages, that granted him a chance in the 10-Y Contender series. And on the night that he was supposed to get a contract to live his dream, he ended up only getting a nickname, Big Mouth. Even though he won a clear 30-27 fight, Dana White really didn't like his antics.
And he was a talented guy and he won his fight, but he wouldn't shut up. This guy comes in and is talking shit the entire fight. So I said, I'm not signing this guy. I don't want him. I'm not interested in him.
Do you feel like it's enough, though, to get Dana's attention?
No, not really. Not at all. But if he wants me to bring back in 4 weeks and let me make another 10 racks, I'll do that.
And on the night, Holland showed another one of his flaws. And I'm not referring only to him having a
Big mouth.
but together with that, he doesn't give a fuck about winning. He just wants to fight and get a fat check so he can live freely. Nonetheless, a man with that much talent sooner or later will have a chance of reaching his dream again. And he came on the most Holland style ever.
Thiago Santos' fight falls out, right? And I said, let's call some contender guys then that we liked. They all turned down the fight. I said, call Big Mouth. I want to see if Big Mouth takes this fight. He took the fight, came in and fought the fight, still talking shit, okay? In there with Thiago Santos, this beast, ranked number 13 in the world, and took this fight on 2 weeks' notice and is still talking and saying, talking so much his mouthpiece fell out twice. But wow, he looked good. Wow, he looked good. And tonight,
Even though he lost, Holland put on a show, especially when you put into consideration that only a year later, Thiago Marreta Santos would give John Jones one of his toughest fights ever. And just like that, the Big Mouth secured his spot in the UFC, but he still had to prove he belonged in the big stage. And that's exactly what he did, because only a year later to the Santos fight, he already had a 3-fight win streak inside the UFC. But next test would be against another young prospect just like him in the end of 2019. But Holland was on the wrong side of the battle and ended up losing by submission in the second round against Brandon Allen. But who would have thought that that loss was the beginning to the peak of Holland's career, at least for now.
Kevin Holland, 5-0 DC, the third guy in UFC history, modern UFC history, to go 5-0 in a calendar year. But here's the part that we don't talk about enough: 5-0 since May.
Yeah,
Since
7
May.
months, bro. He's pretty much fought every month for the last 7 months, and he's won.
Yes, you heard that right. In only 7 months, he fought 5 times and won all of them. And he started his run by defeating
Good things to say about the boxing of Kevin Holland. Thought he kind of lunged in, but a nice elbow there as they come to close quarter. This is it. Coming up. Trailblazer Holland. Wow. First round knockout. Wow.
It was beautiful. To this day, is one of my favorite performances from him. He was aggressive, he seemed for once with that fire to win, and he was clean in those 30 seconds.
I looked over at you guys, and no offense to you guys, but I noticed that DC wasn't here. So I said, if it starts wrestling, I ain't gonna have the wrestling advice. So I just think I go ahead and get it out the way a little early.
So you're relying on DC to give you the advice now? I'll have to let him know that.
Yeah, he left before I can get the cheat code. That ain't right.
After that, he had a fight on the 8th of August against Joaquin Buckley, owner of one of the most incredible and viral knockouts in UFC history. But in their actual fight, Holland was the one who had a great performance that led to a clean finish in the beginning of the 3rd round. I remember that at the time of that fight, I was almost sure that one day this man would make into the top 5 and even one day could become a champion. And I wasn't the only one, especially because at the time he was only 27, so he still had a long time to improve and to be a better fighter. Nevertheless, he would win 2 more fights in the space of 2 months, but those wins weren't as impressive compared to the others. First, he won a pretty tough fight against Darren Stewart, but let's just say it wasn't the type of win someone like Holland enjoys.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Rob McCarthy scores the contest 29-28, Stewart. Sal D'Amato has it 29-28, Holland. And Eric Collins scores the contest 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Kevin the Trailblazer Holland.
But I mean, a win is a win, right? So how are you feeling right now?
Oh, a win is not a win. You know what I mean? Most guys would be super happy about that, but to me, you're not truly winning a fight until the ref's pulling you off. If you ain't catching a dead body, you didn't get the dub. You know what I mean? That was a 5-round fight. My cardio was starting to fail. My body was starting to fail. he would have been the winner of the fight. So you got to treat every fight like it's a main event. You got to treat every fight like it's a title fight. You got to treat every fight like there's no ref in there. So just got to do better.
Come on, come on, come on.
Ooh, big elbow there.
Come on. Come on, come on, boy. Come on, come on.
I think it's Darren talking to him down there.
What'd you think about him talking to you at the end?
I thought it was awesome. I started laughing. I was like, he said something about let's go, and I was thinking in my head, like, motherfucker, I can't go. If I could go, I'd go, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to get up, do a backflip, kick you in your face? This ain't Mortal Kombat. I can't do it right now, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Hats off to that man. He had a good third round.
Following that, he would fight against
Charlie, American Bad Boy, Ontiveros! Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Smith has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 39 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by verbal submission, Kevin Trailblazer Holland!
Even though it wasn't the way he wanted to win, that didn't stop him from talking trash right there to the champion of the division at the time, Israel Adesanya.
You are, boy. You my boy. And I don't think he tops out because he's still on the floor.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, boy. Don't play with me, boy.
Oh, Kevin's going out Adesanya here.
I'm about to do that. It's me and you, boy.
Well, Izzy's in town.
Later that year, on the 12th of December, he would have his last fight on the year, and boy, he was a special one, because his opponent was undeniably his toughest test at the time, because on UFC 256, his opponent was Ronaldo Jacaré Souza.
Souza is one of the most terrifying guys in that division.
He can submit any man in the world.
Oh! Huge right from Jacaré. Oh! Head kick for Souza. Oh my goodness, that is it. They stop it.
Phenomenal guy, man. I think a legend in the sport. I think he's done a lot of good things. I think he's a great grappler, but I think his grappling is a lot like my coach's grappling. So therefore, I think it's a good fight.
I sleep well, I train well, I feel well, and I feel confident for Saturday night. And I'm ready.
He started the fight with some nasty elbows from the bottom that seemed to take a good amount of Jacaré fighting spirit.
Jacaré, he may never quit. He may never stop talking.
He's got a great standing guillotine. Oh, Jacaré popped out of it nicely.
Huge right down. Oh, Kevin Holland, 5-0 in 2020.
You hurt him bad. Look at Jacaré. He can't even get up. No, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad.
Holland will grace us with one of the most unique knockouts we have ever seen. Just like that, he ended the year with a flourish. And since that day, Holland would only fight the absolute best of the best in the world.
But I don't really like Derek Brunson that much. So if you guys give me the opportunity, I would like to smack Derek Brunson. And if he tries to wrestle too much, I'll check his oil and then smack him. Either way, he's getting smacked.
After showing he was a top 15 material, it was time to see if he had what it takes to be a champion in the UFC. And what better man to test that than the gatekeeper of the top 5 contenders in the middleweight division himself, Derek Brunson.
Three-time Division II All-American wrestler.
Oh, that's it!
Derek Brunson! That is it! Derek Brunson does it again!
They got booked to fight each other in the main event of a fight night on the 20th of March. Everything about that fight was weird, like what the fuck was that face-off?
And Derek Brunson in our main events. We'll see you tomorrow night, ESPN2 for the prelims.
But when it came to the actual fight, in my opinion, it was just frustrating. Holland really seemed happy to be losing, like there's no other way to put it. He got dominated on the ground 90% of the fight and showed zero urgency to get back to his feet, which is a shame, because every 30 seconds they struck, it seemed like Holland could finish it easily there. But what would actually happen is a takedown from Brunson seconds later. Just to give a perspective on how much Holland didn't care, in the middle of the rounds, he wasn't talking to his corner. Instead,
everybody knows Khabib is just not only the greatest wrestler in the world, but one of the greatest wrestling coaches in the world. I usually ask DC for advice, but now I'm trying to ask you.
So no corner advice, I don't think.
He's
Not
asking
from Khabib and not from his coach.
But I don't know. You have to stop his wrestling. Control your hips.
Probably the most impressive thing Holland managed to do that night was making Khabib laugh his ass off to him, unfortunately. So it was no surprise when by the end of a 25-minute fight, Bronson had 17 minutes of control time on the ground.
And you know,
he said he was going to get a takedown. The judges score the contest 49-45, 49-46, and 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision, Derek Bronson.
After a fight like that, you do think he would be pissed and do everything possible to never lose like that. But in reality, in his comeback fight, that didn't happen. But to be fair, he didn't take no time to recess and train to get better, because less than a month later, he would fight again, and this time it was against Marvin Vettori.
Darren Till broke his collarbone. He's out of the fight. Who do you think is likely to step in on a week's notice to fight Marvin Vettori? Mr. Big Mouth himself.
Last second, doesn't matter. You know me, baby. I step up last second, and I'm always ready to go.
I will become the first Italian UFC champion. I know I can do it, and I demand it from myself. This is my mission, and there's nothing that can stop me. I live to fight. I am a fighter through and through, and I embraced it to the fullest. I bring a different level of intensity, and these guys don't like it.
I won't take long on this one because it was almost a copy of the Bronson fight, and by the end of it, Vettori had 20 minutes of control time. That's insane, I know. The Italian Dream won an easy 50-44 on all judges' scorecards, in which the second round was a 10-8 for Vettori.
Like DC said, gave up a lot of takedowns in the past two fights. And it's like, it sucks not to be in the winner's circle, but at the end of the day, it's like, I got a plane flight home, and spent a lot of dollars at the ladies' club, so it's not that bad.
Okay, fair enough. Do you feel like you improved from that last fight, even though it was just a couple of weeks ago?
I mean, I not really got time at the gym or anything. You know, I just went out there and gave you guys a little bit more gun-ho. You know what I mean? Just try to give it to you guys what you guys wanted. At the end of the day, I believe in every fighter getting his check, and I believe everybody going out there and getting a chance to perform. So when I seen Marvin didn't have an opponent, you know, it's like the smart thing to do would have been staying in that shower, not answering the phone call. But I never said I was smart, you know. But courageous and a company man is something that I am. So if the people want to ridicule that, they can ridicule that. But at the end of the day, when they needed somebody to step in, I stepped in. I fought, 7 times since the pandemic. I'm gonna go spend a couple days with the kid, you know what I mean? And then we'll get back to it.
Finally, after going on a streak of fighting at least every 2 months, Holland took 6 months out to get better, improve, and set his mind right. So on the 2nd of October 2021, Kevin Holland will fight Kyle Daukaus on the co-main event of the Thiago Santos vs Johnny Walker fight night. Since the beginning of the fight, Daukaus was relentless with the takedowns attempt, and Holland managed to defend them all.
The leg on the back.
Great balance there by...
A little better, right, DC?
Oh, my goodness, he's talking over here. Kyle Daukaus is so long that he's just draping himself over the top.
And after a minute of clinching, they were separated.
No.
Hands up, hands up, hands up.
Easy enough to keep. Oh! Has it I believe that was a headbutt, but it was a flash knockout.
It was a clash of heads there.
Oh.
That's very unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Holland.
And the fact that Holland's even surviving is it's very telling of who he is as a fighter.
Yeah. Now on the back is Daukaus with the left arm under the chin.
And it's in there. That rear choke's in there. He's gonna put him to sleep. He's gonna put him to sleep. It's over.
There's the tap. Kyle Daukaus.
Unfortunately lost for Holland, right? No, because after rewatching the clip,
Ladies and gentlemen, after review of this fight, due to an accidental headbutt, Dan Miragliotta has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 43 seconds of the first round. This fight is declared a no contest.
but Holland, in his best Nate Diaz mentality, had this to say.
I had never thought about a no contest. I'm not that type of person. You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, he knocked me out and choked me out in one fight. If it was a street fight, he would have got the job done. So, I mean, Kung Fu first, defend yourself at all times. I didn't defend myself from the head, but that's my fault.
On the end of the day, it didn't count as an actual loss, but that didn't change the fact that at his last 3 fights, he didn't manage to win a fight. So his hype in the middleweight division kinda died. So after the Daukaus fight, Holland decided to try his luck in the welterweight division, but there were some doubts about that move because the welterweight division was and is full of high-level grapplers, but that didn't stop Holland from making the move. He would complete his transition on March 2022.
It sends a message to
him. But he landed one and another one. Oh, look at this. Oliveira's got his back. Look at this. He's got the net in. He's got it. He's under the chin.
Oh no, look at that. He's under the arm.
Wow. He's under the ocean.
And it's the fact that Oliveira got it there.
Huge right hand from Kevin Holland. Oh, Cowboy seemingly in a world of trouble controlling the leg.
Big shots by Kevin Holland. Can Oliveira survive? Big elbow.
Wow. That's it.
That's it.
Holland blazing his trail at welterweight.
It was a great division debut for Holland, and to continue his welterweight run, would fight with another OG of the sport, Tim Means.
I've been with the company a long time, since 2012. You know, right now it's winning this fight and then looking towards a couple main events and go from there.
And it was a banger for the 7 minutes it lasted, until Holland dropped Means to the ground and followed it up by finishing with a dorsal.
Holland has him down. He's got a dorsal. He's got a dorsal. Looking for the tap out.
Oh, that's in deep now.
That is in deep.
Yeah,
there's the tap. Wow. Kevin Holland.
Beautiful.
By submission.
And later on September,
I come in for everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the chicken.
Is the UFC president, Dana White. Based on what happened at the weigh-in today, what will fight fans actually see Saturday night at T-Mobile Arena?
There's a lot of things that I was anticipating coming into this morning. Khamzat missing weight wasn't one of them. Kevin Holland and Khamzat got into it backstage yesterday. Lots of things were said. They're gonna fight tomorrow now, so.
Say something now. You're not about that life, kid. You're not about it, kid.
Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland. Official weight 179.5 for the Trailblazer. And his opponent, Khamzat Chimaev. Official weight 178.5.
We're gonna help him now. We're gonna help him now. We're gonna find out. The whole world's gonna find out. We're gonna help him now. Don't forget that. Yeah, the whole world. Don't forget that. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. It all happens for good reason, but all these guys claiming they're gangsters, they're not gangsters. They wear makeup for the HD cameras, and that's as simple as it is.
What are your thoughts about this fight moving from the Diaz fight to now you fighting Kevin Holland because of the weight loss?
I don't care. I want to smash everybody. I come here to fuck everybody, no? I'm going to take it over now.
All right, well, good luck to you, sir. We'll see you tomorrow night. Khamzat Chimaev, ladies and gentlemen.
who would be crazy enough to fight Khamzat on 1 day notice? You guessed it right. Big Mouth, or should I say Big Balls.
What do you mean by that?
I think it's safe to say that we all knew exactly what would happen in that fight, but you gotta have some hope, right? And then that bell ringed. Khamzat looked like a wolf hunting his prey, and Holland was doing a good job defending, but I never seen something like what Khamzat was doing. It really seemed like he had killing intention inside him.
He's trying to just overwhelm him. Right, but he's emptying the gas tank very early.
Oh, it's in there.
He's got the darts.
He is slipping up.
Oh, but he's back on the bottom again. Now it's even tighter. Now it's even tighter.
Yeah.
Now he's going to hook the leg.
Holland really wincing now.
He might tap. It looks like his right hand was perfect. Tap. That's it. He got it. To do that to Kevin Holland unbelievable.
Unfortunately for Kevin, that wasn't the game style he was preparing for. The least Dana White could do after Holland took such a shot to help the organization is giving him a dream matchup, and that's exactly what he did when he booked a fight between Holland and the nicest man ever, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, which is also one of, if not the greatest striker to ever step a foot inside of a UFC octagon.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson makes really good fighters look very average.
What sets him apart from the others is his karate style. It's such a difficult puzzle to solve. You can't see where the punches are coming.
And oh boy, that fight between them was a banger. It was one of my favorite fights to rewatch till this day. And after the end of the fourth round, the corner of Holland had to drop out of the fight due to all the damage done on the right hand of Holland after getting all of those baseball bat kicks on them.
Heard Wonderboy back. Oh! You start to question your life. But look at his arm. Southpaw stance.
Back to it. Holland in a world of trouble now. Desperation shot. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to this contest at the end of round number 4. Declaring the winner by TKO, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Fast forward to April 2023 and Holland will square up against Santiago the Argentine Dagger Ponzinibbio.
It's about, I'm going to hit you with everything I have, with every single punch.
And in the first round, they started in a really slow pace, but to seal the round in the last 10 seconds, Holland will knock Ponzinibbio down with the most Holland type of strike ever.
Big moment for Kevin Holland, huge.
In the third, Ponzinibbio will be a little more aggressive, but Holland remained calm and composed until the chance to counter presented himself, and he landed a clean left hook to put an end in the fight. July 2023, Holland faced the tough season 15 champ and ferocious submissioner Michael Chiesa.
I don't like Chiesa because he looked at me one time kind of funny while I was trying to holler at this girl, so Chiesa, so whoever wants it can get it. Sorry for cussing on ESPN, I know y'all related to Disney, but hey, I want all the smoke.
I truly believe it deep down in my bones. I'm going to be the one getting my hand raised, and that's all I can see right now.
Michael Chiesa's been away from the game for a real long time. Coming back to a guy who's as active as me doesn't seem like the best idea.
Chiesa's ball. Big knee. Look at the Darce. Chiesa's been Darce before.
He's got it locked in. He's got it locked in.
There's the
tapped. He tapped. That's it.
Kevin Holland submits Michael Chiesa in round 1.
Yeah, I got a full-blown wrestling coach now. I've always had a great corner. I've always had a great crew. I just had to be a little bit more patient in here. I'm 30 years old now, guys. I'm grown, I'm mature. I miss kids being born. I go through all kind of here for you guys, and I absolutely love it.
After that, Holland will fight one of the biggest prospects in the MMA world at the moment, Jack Della Maddalena, and every MMA fan was hyped about this one. Holland with his big heart, iron chin and creative striking versus Jack's power and his clean boxing combination, that in my opinion are one of the best combinations in the entire UFC. Holland started the fight by controlling the distance with jabs, leg kicks and tip kicks to the body, but every time they were close to each other, Jack took advantage of it and landed great combinations. That was the story of the first round. Holland was the busier fighter and Jack was the most accurate and powerful one. It could easily go either way. The second round wasn't much different, but they kinda picked up the pace, so it definitely was more fun to watch. But at the end, it was another close round between them. Jack landed some pretty good leg kicks throughout the round, but going into the third, the scorecards could be all over the place, to be honest, so the third round will probably decide the winner. The third round was another competitive round, but this one, at least in my opinion, Jack clearly won. He was able to land the bigger shots and be more effective throughout the whole round, but at the end it was still a huge question mark to what Bruce Buffer would say.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Final scores the contest, 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Jack Della Maddalena.
Just like that, Jack Della Maddalena improved his UFC record to 6-0. Some might call it a robbery, but for me, it was a highly competitive and technical fight that proved that both fighters belong in the top of the welterweight division.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Got Kevin on the mic. What we gonna do? Woo, woo.
So I had this idea that I was gonna learn martial arts. I was gonna rob drug dealers. That way I could smoke weed for free.
And here I am here in the UFC. There's been some stories in between, but those are not for the camera. Had it been 7 years, I could still go to jail for it. Not telling you guys.
I don't care about a belt because I can buy my own gold. I'm gonna be that fun fighter who never won a title, who had a bone in front of him and he freaking went out there and ate all the ham off of it until he got to the bone. Kev's gonna eat.
I don't envision runs to the title. I envision a BMF ring around my finger and I envision a great life, and that's how it is.